how do I identify or define what being a cycle breaker means? What's the shadow side of being a cycle breaker or identifying as one? What pressure do I put on myself? How is this a cage? Hey parents, do you identify as a cycle breaker in your family or in your parenting? If you do, I'm curious if you've ever sat down and taken the time and the attention to define what being a cycle breaker really means to you. It's an interesting idea to self-identify what a cycle breaker looks like, feels like, what specific work that they are dedicated and devoted to on a daily basis in yourself, in your parenting, and in your family. It's also a very curious idea to sit down and understand the ways that you have been told what being a cycle breaker means. And not that there is a right or a wrong definition, but the practice itself of clarifying your understanding of the identities that you adopt and that the personas and the archetypes that you are proud of from within the own self, rather than what other people are telling you it's supposed to be, it should be, or it needs to be valid, to be worthy, to be acceptable. What's interesting is that the identity of a cycle breaker is bringing, we could say, the black sheep from every family into a state of belonging. It's a persona and an identity that many of us within our families who experience ostracization, isolation, our family members meeting us with, you're raising a monster, you're raising a kid who's out of control, like, you need to learn how to discipline, you're a pushover, you're too soft, you're letting your kids get away with everything, how are you letting them talk to you like that? Many of us are incredibly uncomfortable with the consciousness and the skills and the tools that many people bring to the rearing, the raising, and the guiding of children. And that can be isolatory. It can be sad. We could potentially need breaks from friends or family members who are meeting our authenticity and our process of deconditioning our family with angst or contempt or even shame. And so the identity, again, of a cycle breaker, that's bringing us together. And we want to be really curious that we are being nourished by the hive mind. We're being nourished by the community of cycle breakers in our parenting, while also maintaining our authenticity. So we can bring in Brene Brown's book, Braving the Wilderness, where she's exploring that give and take of showing up in ourself to claim true belonging. And Toko Pa's work in her book, Belonging, it talks about something called false belonging, how we are stepping into archetypes or personas that give us a sense of belonging to a group or a community or a mission or a purpose. And we are invited to bring conscientiousness and shine a light on this within ourselves as peaceful parents, identifiers of cycle breakers, etc. And just be really clear that the new world we are creating together has space for, there are as many ways to consciously, peacefully, empoweredly parent as there are parents and children. There are as many ways to exercise and execute relationally safe skills and strategies as there are parents and children. And we can give great thanks to the support out there in the online community, in your physical communities that are guiding us, that are giving us how-tos and supporting us to integrate new skills and tools. And being curious how you can find that unique signature within your own self as the parent and within your parenting of your unique specific child. And again, sitting down and clarifying, how do I identify or define what being a cycle breaker means? What's the shadow side of being a cycle breaker or identifying as one? What pressure do I put on myself? How is this a cage? Which appears like something that provides me with great strength and pride is actually trapping me in another set of shoulds and supposed tos. And am I finding myself stuck again in another identity that is not providing me space for authenticity and growth, but rather this is what you need to be and this is how it needs to look in order for you to belong to us as cycle breakers. Interesting concept. I hope that this is as curious for your mind as it is for me. And if you're willing to share anything that's come up for you as I'm speaking, any thoughts or questions, any aha moments from your journaling exercise, we would love to hear it. And I thank you so much for being here with me and listening. I will see you all again very soon. Thank you.